Hello, Travis here from Pegasus Online. Today I'm going to go over the Sacramento Tree and Stump V1 web comp. A couple things to go over before we dive in. First, we're using stock filler images throughout the site. That's why you're going to see these watermarks. Similarly, with the content, we're using a stock filler content. It's a Latin filler text called lorem ipsum. So that's what all this gobbledygook really is. It's just this Latin filler text. This will all be replaced with your content writer. Today, all we're doing is we're looking at the overall flow and layout, kind of how the content works in the site. So don't let the images or the content or lack thereof in a lot of these spaces dissuade you from a block type or a design or an idea. So with that said, I'll just dive right in. One more thing. The actual tool we're going to be using here is called XD, Experience Design is what it means. And what is really neat about it, when you want to leave feedback or give us a comment, all you have to do is go up here and you could write a comment like so, and then you can grab the pin and actually drag the pin with a comment on it. So say you wanted to, one of the options I'm going to give you is replace this with text rather than the logo icon. So you could put an icon right on top of it like that. And what'll happen when you hit submit is I'll get a notification that you've left a comment. With that said though, I'm going to be waiting until I got all comments in, meaning I'll need an email from you just saying you're done. In the past, I've gone in and made the edits before I had clarification that the team was done, and it ended up that I was overriding people's work just because they were kind of still working out ideas on what to do with that space. So I will wait before I add any or apply any of the changes that you request to the design. So I'll just hit cancel to get rid of that. Another thing I want to point out to you is to navigate. You can go from the home page to the subpage layout design just by clicking these links here. You can also hit the home anytime. If you want to view the design in full screen, I'd encourage you to do so. And what you do, here I'll go back to that, you hit the two arrows up here and it will expand the overall design for you to see. You do want to try to expand this so you do see these white bars on the side here. If this is squeezed down like I'm doing now, it will shrink down the text and the images and everything. So if you want to see it in the full view, I'd recommend expanding it until you kind of see everything spread out, and then you have even these white bars around it. This is not how your site's going to look. This is just a very rough prototype of your website. None of the links work or anything like that, of course. That's why we have this weird white bar thing. It's just to kind of let you know that this is the full size, so this is the actual size of the text for people to actually view your site. So excellent. So we'll just dive in. The first area at the top here is your header. I'm chuckling because I already kind of gave away what I was thinking over here. If you're okay with it, I would like to replace this with just a text that says, well, maybe not even text. I think we could keep your logo here, but then just add Sacramento Tree and Stump right here. That way it's really clear when people land on, say, a sub page or maybe a blog page, where they're at. So that'd be the first thing I would recommend adding up here. Next over here we have your phone number. We have a anything button, and then we also have your serving the Sacramento area. This I added this bit of text here. Normally we have Latin filler text again. But I'm pretty sure this is going to be what this will say. So I'm feeling pretty confident about adding that here. If we need to change that, of course, this can be changed. In fact, everything in this design, all the images and text, you can change when the site is live. The layout is pretty much the only thing you can change. Layout and colors, really. But anywhere you see like this icon or this logo here, you can replace that logo with something else. You can replace this image with something else. So you have all those great options. You selected the fast load option for the splash area. This is one of my favorite options because it just downloads immediately because we're not downloading all these extra images. So we selected an image here. You could, of course, use an image that you take, maybe a before and after image. In fact, if you have before and after images, that would be fantastic. What I could do is actually Photoshop them together side by side, and we could kind of set that up here on the homepage. So you can kind of show before and then an after if you want. Or if you want to just show the success of the business, we can find an image that has the nice green lawns and all that good stuff. So it's completely up to you. You do get stock images with your package, so we can absolutely purchase this image if you'd like. But if you do have images that you're sitting on, we of course welcome that. In fact, we've even encouraged companies in the past to maybe buy some gift certificates to Starbucks or something like that, and encourage your employees to actually use their cell phones and just snap as many photos as possible, for a month or something, and just kind of do a fun little contest and give away the Starbucks cards to the winners of the photo contest. And then all those photos can be used in your site, and they're directly pulled from your customers' work, or your employees' work on your customers' houses. So, I forgot to mention the navigation up here. This is a nice navigation because it allows you a little bit of extra space. So if you ever wanted to grow a little bit with your navigation, you can do that. Our other navigation styles are very limited. This one does not have that limit. This is actually my favorite header overall because it kind of has everything that a smart marketing header should have. It has well-placed branding, a phone number, call to action right here that could lead anywhere. It could say book an appointment or something like that, free consultation, anything you want. It could lead anywhere you want inside your site or even outside the site. We also have this serving Sacramento area. This is excellent for Google SEO. Plus, anybody that lands on your site, they'll see this and immediately know that I'm in the Sacramento area. This is perfect. If you want to say the greater Sacramento area, you can absolutely do that too. Down here we have the two title system. Anywhere you see this, even though it's not set up this way right now, you could absolutely do that. You could set this up to ask a question at the top and then provide an answer below that. It's a good subliminal trick, and it's something we encourage using. So we have a lot of those kinds of title systems throughout the site. And then, of course, here we have this very dynamic call to action. This is an actual image that will be produced, and when you hover over it, the whole image kind of slides over a little bit. It kind of moves over. One idea I just had is we could get maybe the tools of the trade, maybe a wood chipper or something like that. We can kind of set that up on top of here. Since this is an image, we can have a little bit of fun with that and create a little bit of a detail that could sit up here and kind of be just a fun little token, I guess, of the industry. So that's what I was thinking there. Moving down, we have your top 4. This is a very flexible area. I'm calling it the top 4. Really, we call it the top content or top sales area. What this provides you is a place to put all your top sales or your top products here, rather. So here you have these 4 areas. I think this is expandable up to 6. And you can bring it down to 2 if you wanted a very simplistic one. This is really cool though, because when you hover over one of these elements, we have this mouse kind of sitting over the top here, indicating that this is a hover event. what'll happen is the whole card will kind of flip over. Kind of think of a three-dimensional card on a table. If you grab it by the other side and flip it over, that's exactly how these work. They're kind of little flip cards that you can flip over. It creates a lot of playful searching is what I like to call it, where people kind of just move their mouse and just kind of see, they're just looking to see what happens next. So here we have this kind of fun little piece that pops out, and then down here things are flipping over, and then down here these titles, again the two title system, asking a question, answering it directly below. These will animate from either side. If the animations are too much, we do include in every single block an ability for you to shut it off. So don't worry about these animations today. We just kind of include as many as we can right off the bat, and then you can always tone it down later per block. So that's how that works. So here we have the two title system again. We have this card view here where we have a we actually like to call this the Why Us area and not the About Us area. The difference is with Why Us is we always say something, customers don't really care about you. They care about what you can do for them, and that's what this block is really designed to do. It's designed to allow you to state the big reasons that you are the person or the company to do the job that they're looking for. So here you see a title, you see some text, you see bullet points. Everything is super easy for people to navigate with their eye and read, and there's a call to action here so they can book an appointment right here if they wanted. And then notice this little branding strip here. You can change that color. So if you wanted that yellow or something like that, you could do that. And then here you will notice an image here in the background. Moving down, we get into your featured testimony or featured review area. This area is kind of special. It does a couple things for you on your homepage. First, it pulls from a pool of testimonials. You have absolute and total control over the testimonials on your site. I want to say that first. But on the homepage, you have the ability to feature certain testimonials. And what that means is say you have 20 testimonials in total, 5 of those are amazing. You can feature all 5 of those, and what will happen in our system is every time the page is refreshed, every time a new person or the same person even comes to your site, we're going to randomize those testimonials, those featured testimonials, and we're going to display them on the homepage. I think we limit it to 6 or 5 here, but if you have 10 featured testimonials, say, we're still going to limit it to that, and that does 2 things for you. Or 3 things really. It cleans up the homepage. It allows for new content for Google to crawl over, so it looks like you're constantly updating your homepage, and that's something Google loves. And again, your audience, the users of your site, they will see new testimonials every time they come to your site. So it's just a very powerful area that allows you to do very little to no work at all to maintain, but it looks like your site's constantly updating and doing a lot of new and neat things with the content. Moving on, here we have a call to action area. Typically our clients like to use this for one of 2 things. They either say read more testimonials, click here, or have an experience you'd like to share with us, click here and leave a testimonial or a review. And what that does is it allows you to catch testimonials, even negative testimonials, before they go public. We also collect the email address. We don't display that, but we collect it so that way you can reach out to them if you do get a negative testimonial. And hopefully that saves you from a headache down the road where they don't go to Yelp or something like that. Hopefully they just leave a comment on your site. You don't have to publish it. You can contact them directly, resolve that, and if down the road you want to publish that testimonial, that would be an excellent piece to publish. And then below, write about how you solve their problem, and we allow that too in our system. So in on the actual testimonials page, when a user sends a testimonial, they'll be able to leave a testimonial with you, and you'll be able to reply back to that testimonial, and everybody will be able to read that. So it's a very powerful way to create a lot of trust. I don't think anybody trusts anything that has 5 stars, unless there's 1,000 reviews, right? Everybody expects to see a 4-star, maybe even a 3-star or 1-star sometimes. So if you post those on your testimonials page, they're not displayed on the homepage first off, but then it does create that sense of trust because you're showing you're being transparent, and you are able to reply and explain to any potential customer looking at these testimonials how you corrected that wrong for that other person, that other customer. So that's how that works. Moving on, this is your foot contact area. This area will be at the bottom of every single page throughout your website. The foot contact area is very powerful because, well, first off, all the contact fields are pulled from one source inside of the website. So that way you don't have to go around, say you need to change your phone number or you want to update your email or something like that. You don't have to crawl all over the website looking for the phone numbers to change and all that. We do the work for you. So there's just one field for your phone number. It actually updates it in the header up here as well at the same time, and it updates this one. Same with the email, contact blurb, all these things. So I'll go through the fields really quick. First, we have the phone number, we have email, we have a contact blurb. The contact blurb is really important to set an expectation for your customers when they're trying to contact you. The idea is if they're going to email you, say, or they're going to contact you through the forum, that you set an expectation. So you can set your hours here, you can set the days you work. So if they're writing you at 7 o'clock on a Friday night or something, they can have a reasonable expectation that if your office hours are Monday through Friday from 8 to 4 or something like that, that they will not hear from you until Monday at some time. So that's where you set the expectation for your customers. Next, we have social media. These are just default fillers. This system is incredibly powerful. We're connected to a system we actually subscribe to. It has over 7,000 icons. So anywhere you see these icons, you can select from any of those 7,000 icons, and they're constantly being updated. So if there's ever a new social media that you want to be a part of, or some new thing, you can quickly add that icon and link it directly to your page in social media. We keep the social media down here because we think your website should be the very center of the hub, and we don't want people leaving your site easily. So we do offer social media here, but we don't want it to be overstated anywhere else. The goal on your site is always to sell more to your customers. If they get on Facebook, all of a sudden they're looking at Aunt Irma's birthday cake or something. So we want to keep them on your site. This is where you're going to be making the money. Here's a contact now button. This button is special. It allows us to have a very complex or very simple contact form within your website. The beauty of this is when you click it, a modal will drop down from the top of the screen. Everything will kind of darken around it. And within that modal, you can have a contact form that's either simple or complicated. And you can split it up using conditional logic, meaning if some customers, I don't know if this is a thing, I'm just making it up on the fly, so don't judge me. If you want to make sure customers don't have dogs, right, or something like that, so they don't bite you or something like that, you could actually have a little checkbox: are there dogs on the property? And then below that, you can ask things like, what's the name of the dog? Is the dog okay to have treats or something like that? If you give treats to animals, I know some companies do that. Or things like that. But if they don't check that, then that question will never need to be answered. So it could just be as simple as you want there. So that's the power of that contact now button. It could really go deep and really go very specific into a customer's concern or problem or need in those cases. Over here we have the serving Sacramento area here. This is doing another thing for you with Google Analytics, or sorry, Google SEO, where Google or any search engine for that matter will see all these locations. That is excellent. So if anybody types in Folsom area, tree or stump removal or something like that, then it will pull your site up further up to the top. Here we have a little bit of text where you can go in deeper and you can talk about specific towns, counties, anything you want. And that's all on every single page throughout your website. So Google, the Google search engines will absolutely love that, because you're being very, very, very specific about the places that you do work. And usually when people search in Google, they're specific about their search. They mention their specific town or city that they live in. So this is a very powerful area right here. You'll notice back here we have a map. This is something that a lot of our customers like to do. They like to actually just put a map of the overall area. But another option that we like is using a cityscape. So you can get a photo, say, of downtown Sacramento, maybe the Golden Bridge or something like that, and you'll have that here in the background instead. Below that, we get into your foot logo and then your foot copyright information. All right, so to move to the next page, you can actually click anywhere on this design. The whole thing is a giant link, so that will move you to the next page. And here you'll see an example of what a subpage will look like. I'm going to skip the header because we already explained that. Here we have the background image. This background image has, it's hard to explain. We call it the Ken Burns effect. There was a documentary called The Civil War a long time ago. He needed to make still photographs look dynamic and interesting in video. And so what he did was he would do push and zooms or pull outs or things like that. And so that's exactly how this works. Any photo you put here, it does a subtle push in. Nobody else is doing that, and it's something that will make your site stand apart from anybody else. Within here, you're going to notice the typical stuff. You have your title, content, and here's an example of what an image could look like on the site as well. And when we scroll down, you'll also notice here's a stump here in the background. The designer did an excellent job. She went out and found some artwork that could kind of work along with it. And so this will be at the bottom of every single page throughout your website. It's just that tiny little detail that really brings your site up to the next level. Over here, I'd like to show off this button here. This is a new feature we're including on every single site. It allows you to have a consistent CTA, call to action, on every single page throughout your website. So you're always going to have the title of the page here, and then over here you're going to have a call to action. And a lot of people like to say contact us now, book an appointment, something like that. We love call to actions. We're a marketing company. We're going to push call to actions as much as possible. So we have a call to action right here. The beautiful thing about this is we kind of have some tricky magic going on here. So what we're doing is we have a default call to action that will work on every single page throughout your site. So all these pages up here. When you're on that page though, so say this is a book an appointment or call for a consultation or something like that, and it takes them to maybe the contact us page. When you're on that page, we obviously don't want this to link back to that page. So there you have the ability to override it, and you could say, you know, Sierra Services or something like that. Or if you want to add a coupon page or something, you could say viewer coupons, you know, something along those lines. Above that, you have a tagline here. This is going to be the tagline that will be everywhere on every single subpage. So it has that extra bit of consistency. You don't need to say serving your location up here, because you will actually have something else down here, and that's just another way that you can impress Google and have them rank your site up higher. In the background here, you're going to notice this image. This works exactly the same way as this call to action here, meaning you have a default image that works on every single subpage, and then on a specific page where you want to kind of override it. A lot of people, say for the About Us page, like to use maybe a staff photo, and they kind of show off all their vans and then all the people that work at the company, and they kind of do a big staff photo for the About Us here. And then of course they put that photo again up here so people can view it in the foreground and background. And that's pretty much it. That's everything for the site. So to exit out of the full screen mode, you can always hit escape. At this point, I'd welcome you to start making some comments and start letting us know what you think. If you want us to change or edit or you know, tone things down, we used a lot of greens and a lot of yellows, all pulling those colors out of your logo. That's why everything on the site looks like it was designed for your logo, because it was. Oh, I even forgot to mention this little detail here. So there's another little kind of ghosted detail back here. Just subtle kind of pieces. Oh, it's right here too. How cool. So yeah, so that's how this site works overall. But yeah, I'd encourage you to go through, leave some comments, let us know what you think. I will be out of town starting tomorrow, all the way through till the following week on Tuesday. But I'm letting Franklin, the CEO, know to keep an eye out for your comments. If he does get an email, so make sure he's CC'd to that email. If he gets an email, he's going to forward that off to the designer right away, and she'll be able to make your edits and then get it back to you as soon as possible. That way nothing slows down in the process. That way we can get the site done for you as quickly as possible. So with that said, have a good rest of your day. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, or let us know rather, and we'll be sure to get back to those. Anyway, have a good rest of your day, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.